What is a good airsoft player? While that's a very simple question, I think it has a very complex answer. And while we do a lot of training and tactic videos here on the channel, I think that it takes more than that to be a genuinely good player. So in today's video, I'm going to talk to you guys about what I consider to be traits of a good player and what I like to look for in my own gameplay to make sure that I am being a better player on the airsofting field. What's up, Airsofters? My name is Lane and welcome back to the BB Warrior. We're here to help you have a better time both on and off the airsofting field through our educational content. And if you enjoy videos like these, I'd love it if you joined our community by hitting that subscribe button down below. And while you're at it, make sure to hit that bell icon next to it for new videos every Tuesday and Friday here on the channel. So what I consider to be a good player all comes down to one word, and that word is adaptability. So what do I mean by that? I think that a characteristic of a good player is someone who can adapt to changing situations on the BB Wars field and act accordingly to benefit the team as a whole. So whether you are at an indoor field, an outdoor field, a Milsim West style 40-hour event, or even just a standard pickup game, I think this applies to all aspects of airsoft. And the ability to adapt is going to allow you to make better decisions to, lead your team to victory so that you guys can win and not the opponents. So let's propose a situation. Let's say you're playing a game where one team is trying to get to an objective, let's say a flag, a bomb that they have to defuse, a damsel in distress, whatever it may be, and there's another team that's trying to stop them from moving towards that objective, obviously. So let's say you're playing this game and there is just a meat grinder going on. Players on both sides are taking each other out. There's people constantly putting their hands up, walking back to the dead box. However, no progress is being made by either side. The defenders aren't pushing them back and the attackers aren't pushing forward. I think that a good player would see this and decide, okay, this isn't working. What can I do to make this work and lead our team to victory? So in that particular situation, it may be something as simple as, well, what if I go around their main line? If I swoop in from the sides, I could capture that objective without firing a shot, and they might not even know that I was there. That's an option, and I think that that's something that skilled players recognize, is that when things don't work, what can I do that will work? So again, in that scenario, just go around them if that's the case. I think that another thing that a skilled player can do, I think that they can work well by themselves. However, they can also work well in squads of others. I think that that is something that all players should know, is tactics not only for themselves at the squad level, but also at larger levels. Because if you're put in charge, or whoever is in charge, if you have like a platoon leader, if they die and they can't communicate with your team, well, communication is key. And I think that is also a crucial role in success in airsoft, is communicating with your team and having a plan. So I think that a good player can recognize that, say, hey guys, I'm going to go over off to the left. We're either going to, secure the objective or put additional pressure on them at a different point to allow the rest of the team to just go through brute force. So we're all going to go to the left, put some pressure on them so they draw guys off the right, and then you guys just swarm in and take that objective through brute force. I think that there are multiple ways through any obstacle out there. You can be stealthy, you can just use brute force. However, you have to recognize what works, what doesn't, and the strengths and advantages of your teams. I think a perfect example is there are a lot of games that I play at River City Airsoft. It has a lot of speed soft players, but it also has a lot of Milsim players that play there. So I think that as a player myself, I can recognize, okay, these more speed softy type guys, these are going to be the guys that just want to run in, they're really fast, they're really aggressive, and then you have more of the Milsim players, which are typically going to be playing things a little bit more slower, more methodically, and they're going to be thinking about the tactics, where they could be coming from, and things like that. While that is a very broad assumption, bear with me here. I think that recognizing what strengths and advantages your teammates have, as well as your own strengths and advantages, I think that that is a trait of a good player. And something that I notice in myself is that if I'm not used to a field or I don't know it very well, I'm significantly more cautious than when I'm at a field that I'm super comfortable with. And I think that that is something that I need to work on, is I need to maintain my level of aggressiveness when I'm at fields that I'm not as comfortable with. While it may lead to me getting to the dead box more, it could present opportunities that I could either break through their line, get around them, or whatever it may be, and lead to success. It's just something that goes through trial and error, in my opinion. Now, I know someone's going to ask, so I want to address it. Where do guns and gear fall into this discussion? I don't think that they fall in quite the way that some people feel, and what I mean by that, your guns and your gear do not make you a good player. I don't care if you have the Gucciest of Cry Precision kits. If you're not a good player, that doesn't matter. How I think that they do affect a good player is I think on the gear aspect, I think that better gear only enhances an already skillful player, so you have to have those base skills before that better gear really shows any advantages. Like if you're a fast reloader and you can reload within, 2.5, 3 seconds, you see those advantages of having open top pouches like HSGI Tacos or STAT Kiwis. You see those advantages versus having something closed with like Velcro or a button if we're going into real old school type kit. So I think that that's the only time the gear shows a distinct advantage. I think that it's a little bit different with airsoft guns and things like that though. So what I mean by that is I think that with any specialized platform, so let's say DMRs, bolt action rifles, grenade launchers, saws, whatever it may be, any specialized task, I think that a good player can recognize what their weapon system is capable of, what its advantages and what its disadvantages are, and knows how to play accordingly. So as an example, we'll go back to the meat grinder scenario. Let's say you have a bolt action rifle. You're not going to want to be the guy getting within 20 to 50 feet of enemy players because in most fields they have 100 or 150 minimum engagement distance for bolt action rifles, so you wouldn't be as effective as you could in that scenario. While you may be put in those scenarios and you should be ready to adapt to that, your key strengths are going to be in that distance between where you can accurately hit people and where people accurately can't hit you. So let's say most AEGs have an effective range of 200 feet, and your bolt action rifle has an effective range of 275 feet. Again, you're not going to want to go toe-to-toe with people 100 feet away. You're going to want to engage people when you're in that 150-foot range because you're in what I like to call the sweet spot, where you can hit them, but they can't hit you. I think that another thing while we're on the topic of this, I think that good players don't go for every kill that they can. I can't tell you how many times I've had guys walk right near me and I haven't shot them, even though it would have been a free kill at that point, just because shooting them would have alerted other enemies and I wouldn't have been able to get the flank off or capture the objective in the ways that I did after that. So I think that that is a kind of trait of a good player, is they don't go for every player that they see. And again, I don't think that getting a lot of kills is a habit or a requirement of a good player. I think that it's more objective based in my personal opinion. So going back to specialized weapon platforms, whether you have, long-range rifles like DMRs or sniper rifles, or you're using 40mm or light machine guns, you need to understand the roles that you can fulfill to be the most efficient possible and actually provide something of value to your team. If you're using a 40mm launcher with tag rounds, there should be priority targets that you're going for. You should be going for, the light machine guns, because those are the greatest casualty producing weapon that a team has, is something that can fire 3,000 rounds without stopping. You should be going for high profile targets like that. Vehicles, mortar pits if it applies, any sort of objective that can be destroyed or any sort of asset that can be destroyed, you should be focusing on that as someone with a grenade launcher. Whereas if you have a saw, your job should again to be putting rounds down range to keep people suppressed and allow your team to move up. You need to understand where your platform works best and where it has hindrances. So again, saws are very, very heavy. You're not going to want to be swinging that thing around clearing a building. You'd rather be set up, in a stationary position or bipoded up, whatever it may be, where you can accurately put suppressing fire down on the enemy. And while tactics in the real world don't always work for airsoft, that's an entirely different video of its own, so I'm not going to talk about it today. I think that you need to find tactics that work for you as an airsofter. Not everything that the military does is going to work for airsoft, because again, the range of a 5.56 going out of an M16 is about 10 times as far as your little tiny plastic BB going out of your toy gun. So let's recap for a moment. I think that a good player is one that is able to adapt to changing situations, see opportunities that arise, and act on them quickly to lead to success for their entire team. I also think that they are very skilled in their tactics and their finite motor skills, so reloading, shooting, aiming, that sort of thing. However, I don't think that the equipment they use will make them a good player. I think that it will only amplify the skills or the lack of skills that they already have, and the knowledge and the usage that you get through experience and teaching. I want to know what you guys think makes a good player. I think that is the beauty of the question, is that there isn't one answer of what makes a good Airsoft player. So I want to know what you guys think makes a good player. Did you agree with some of my points? Do you have some points of your own? Make sure to let me know down in those comments below. But that is going to do it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I loved this topic. This is one I wanted to talk about for a really long time, and I'm so happy I finally was able to put it into words. That's going to do it for today's video, guys. If this was your first time here, I'd love it if you joined our community by hitting that subscribe button down below. And while you're at it, make sure to hit that bell icon again to get updated when we post new videos every Tuesday and Friday here on the channel. And while we're on this part of the video, thank you so much for 4,000 subscribers, guys. I didn't think I'd get past 100 people, so the fact that there are 4,000 of you who actively enjoy my content, it makes all of this worth it. If you'd like to help support the channel, I'd love it if you checked out the BB Warrior patches. There'll be a link down in the description below. It helps me to get better equipment to make better, higher quality videos for you guys. The lighting that I'm using, the background, it's all supported by you guys through those patches. I've had to pick up some new equipment because stuff just breaks randomly every once in a while, and it means a lot that you guys do buy the patches. So thank you guys so much for enjoying my content. I know I'm getting a little rambly here, but this has been Lane from the BB Warrior discussing what makes a good Airsoft player in my opinion, and I will see you all next time.